Cynthia Jane Anderson was preparing for a new chapter in her life. The 20-year-old had been raised in a very religious household of Christian fundamentalists, following a schedule packed with church prayer meetings, church swimming events, church camping trips, seasonal church parties, and church worship on Sundays. Cynthia's father, Michael Anderson, described Cynthia as a quiet, obedient type of girl who never made waves, yet had lots of friends.
It's too much church. Can't be going to church that much, right? Too much church.
I mean, look, I don't know if we need to turn this into a commentary on the church.
It's not a commentary. I'm just saying it's too much church.
She was a woman of faith who wasn't making any trouble. That's all that's communicating there.
I mean, she could have made trouble. If I were going to church that much, I'd kill someone.
Several days later, some medical students from McGill visited Houdini in his dressing room. One of the students, Jocelyn Gordon Whitehead, presumably because Houdini's reputation as a jacked dude with incredible strength preceded him, asked if he could punch the magician in the stomach. Houdini said yes, but before he could tighten his gut, the student dealt a few fast and hard blows.
Also, I just can't imagine going up to someone and be like, hey, can I punch you? And the person's like, yeah, give you poof.
Yeah. You're just like, Jesus Christ.
Oh shit, are you dead? Big fan.
Like, it sounds like Houdini couldn't even get out a syllable of yes before the guy was throwing a couple haymakers. Yeah. Like, he was just revved up. The whole show was like, sick trick. I'm gonna punch the shit out of that guy when I get the chance. And Houdini was like,
first, I'm gonna ask.
If you live in a place and a time where guns are going off every 15 minutes,
yeah,
is it perhaps ill-advised to dress as a ghost to scare people on the streets at night during in that town? I used to play a lot of pranks on my roommates, and I would always be scared of scaring them if I thought they had like a glass of water or something in their hand, or like an iPhone, because I figured they might break or they might toss the water at me.
Yeah.
So I could only imagine if they were walking around our shitty house with a gun. Probably not the best idea to get a good boo in.
I don't think you'd get your boos in if that was the case.
I don't think I would either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd get one boo in. It'd be the last boo I ever booed.
Boo!
Look, obviously this guy is a dum-dum. The vigilante Smith.
Yeah.
But he seems to feel remorseful that he just killed a man in cold blood on the street because he thought he was a phantom. So.
Do you think though, when he got there, he was like, I think I've killed the ghost. And the other guy was like, oh yeah? And he was like, yeah, and he had a sister. He was leaving his sister's house. Yeah. And, you know, he had a heartbeat. He said, don't shoot, I'm not a ghost.
You just slowly dawns on him.
Maybe we should go check on him, huh? Have I done a whoopsie?
Sometimes things could make you sad. You know all about that, right? Master of emotions.
I cry all the time. I cried at Little Women a year ago.
The film, right?
No, I just saw some Little Women on the street and I sobbed.
Why are they so little? It's the way you said it. It really sounded like you were at Ralph's and you saw some like Little Women picking out fruit.
I like the idea that it's a group of people, because this reminds me of when there was those
clown sightings.
Clown sightings. Yeah. And that seemed like it was different people all over the country who caught wind of like maybe one sighting and then were like, yeah, let's make this happen.
That was around the time when we saw a clown in Mexico.
Yes, it was.
And that was scary. We had a clown walk up to our car and he was cleaning our window. And after about 20 seconds of him cleaning our window, I realized he had no cleaning supplies. He was just miming cleaning our window. It. And we all just sat there in terrified silence as we watched this clown go.
We're like, I hope that light changes soon. Well, so yes, it could have been though. It could have been a group like that. This meek, well-dressed man who wears cloaks. If you wanted him dead, you didn't have to get it. He was like a weird little spindly man with a head the size of a pumpkin. You've seen him. Or maybe I'm just thinking of the Funko Pops.
Would you not want him?
Would I not want what?
Poe as a brother-in-law.
No, I wouldn't. He's a weird dour man. I would not beat him to death.
I can't even imagine you throwing a punch.
No, me neither. If I'm ever gonna throw a punch.
I could only imagine you like backhanding somebody.
No.
like a lord.
It would be mid-conversation, and I'd maybe set it up a little bit. Like there's a great line from the OC where Ryan,
yes,
the main character who's like from the rough and tumble parts of,
yeah,
he says, you know what I like about rich kids? And the rich kid says, he's like, huh? And he goes, "Poof, nothing. And he walks away. That's what I do, baby. But I might kiss my fist first. I might be like, you know?
So your only fight that you've ever imagined is you sucker punching someone?
Yeah, oh, I'm a sucker puncher, all right. I'm a coward, baby.
This took a turn.
I would punch and
what
I'd
is
run.
happening?
I'd run real fast.
Oh my God, I got you.
Then I'd get on a train and I'd move to a different city and I'd change my name.
Think of how exciting it would be to be a captain of a boat.
Oh.
Not as exciting to
Oh.
get pneumonia and die, but like, you know.
But here's my captain vibe, and then I want to hear yours. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk out my captain's quarters. I walk sort of to the ledge of the promenade or whatever it is there.
Yeah, yeah.
And I look beautiful. I look stunning.
Okay.
I'm glimmering.
Yeah.
And I have one hand behind my back.
We're gonna
and
sidebar on that later, but
another
yeah.
one up here, like this, and I just go. And then one of the boys on the poop deck looks up at me and goes, "Captain," and I just go, "That away, lads."
Oh, I thought you were just gonna point at him to not talk to you. Like if I went, "Captain," and you just went,
Walk the plank.
If I was the captain, I'd say, "Hey everyone, check out my new boat. I'm gonna sail it for years and years to come." And then I'd die of pneumonia.
Spy. Probably.
Why do you immediately go spy?
Well, I don't know. How robust are fingerprint databases at this point? Like nowadays, they get everybody's little fingerprints when they're a baby.
In the first episode, I actually posited I believed that every baby was fingerprinted when they were born, and therefore their fingerprints were in a database. I don't know if that's actually in place now. Either way, I don't know if they did that to this man. Obviously, they didn't because there was no identifying marks. Or he had them burned off like that machine they have in Men in
Men in
Black,
Black.
which always looks so goddamn
I
painful.
feel like we've referenced that on this show before,
We have.
but hey, 100th episode, no rules.
Callback, baby. My mom
know
also
what
said that the scanner thing at the grocery store, she said if I put my fingers on it, it would erase my
Your
fingerprints.
mom's funny as hell.
She once took a wig, put it hanging out of the washing machine, and told me my mom had been abducted and that my real mom was stuck in the washing machine and I could go look for proof. And then she showed me the washing machine and I saw the wig sticking out and I cried.
Your mom's the funniest lady I've ever met.
Millwood's sister Anne saw a flash of light as the sound of a gunshot tore through the night. She called out to her brother from the window, but got no reply. She ran out of the house and down the lane, where she found her brother lying in the street. By the time she was halfway to him, she knew he was dead. There was no one else around. Francis Smith retreated to the White Hart pub, where he met up with the watchman, Girdler.
This round's on me, everybody! I've killed the ghoul!
Pops open the doors like saloon. Everyone pack your bags. We're good to go home. Ghost is dead. All right. Do you think Smith and Girdler still did their little friend, advance? Friend.
Oh, big time.
Like outside the bar, but he said friend in a way that Girdler knew he
Yeah.
had done the deed. Friend!
Advance, friend!
Our third theory is Edgar Allan Poe was the victim of cooping, a violent form of voter fraud that was extremely common in Baltimore at the time. Cooping was when gangs would kidnap a victim and force him to vote multiple times in a variety of disguises.
Strange.
That's
Strange when crimes were like this.
just walking in there with a little Groucho Marx mustache.
Yeah, very
on.
odd.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird time.
Also, it's a crime, and yet these people need to have some sort of trunk full of disguises.
They're walking around with a carrot top truck.
Like hardened criminals be like, "We got you now. Put on this feather boa."
Okay, now the pink number. Put that
The
on.
pink.
Put that one on.
That one with the spaghetti straps. I like that.
Could you audition those glasses? I don't know if the frame fits.
On, off, glass.
You know what? Let's go with the other
Funny
one.
little
I
top
was
hat.
I was right the first time. I overthought it.
This was good. This was good character work for us. Let's keep going.
Forensic science is crazy to me.
Yeah. Also not fun. I know people have a passion for these things, but gosh, imagine going home and being like, "Well, how's your day? How was my day? I don't know. It was great. I found some teeth under a lady."
Yeah, or I covered a knife in fake blood and I went like this to see where it would fly.
That actually sounds pretty fun. You know, they leave bodies decomposing out in the field. That's how they know. I mean, it's fascinating stuff. They leave bodies out and they just let them decompose, and based on how those look after a certain, that's how they like date how long bodies have been decomposing. Isn't that incredible?
Didn't you say you wanted your body to be left in the field when you die?
It's called a sky burial, and I want the vultures to eat me.
I still think dropping you out of a plane and seeing where you land is funnier.
That's
But
funny too. Do whatever the hell you want.
just me at a red light, trying to change the radio station, just
Yeah, sure.
right on the roof of my car.
yeah.
Holy shit!
It's a noodle man.
If the Somerton man met his end thanks to Russian spies, whether Joe Thompson was involved or not, there's also the question as to how he died. At the time, a well-known professor, Sir Cedric Stanton Hicks, proposed that the man had indeed been poisoned, but with an extremely rare variety, which would decompose soon after death. This would of course explain the absence of poison found in the corpse. In court, Hicks refused to say the name of the poisons he was referring to aloud, believing they were too dangerous. Sir Hicks did, however, write 2 types of poison down on paper and gave it to the coroner, digitalis and strophanthine.
Yeah, you're just reading it aloud? All right, we blew it. Never mind. Here's the poison you can use.
Digitalis. He really turned the corner on that one quick.
Yeah.
Understandably, Poe's coffin and corpse were in terrible condition. As workers tried to move the coffin, it fell apart, spilling Poe's remains.
This guy can't catch a break.
This is comical at this point. Like
It's what you get for marrying your 13-year-old cousin.
Jesus, man, you can't say that.
I can't
Man,
say
you
it.
can't
Oh,
say
I
that.
can't say that?
I don't know if that's fair.
You can't say that.
I don't think it's fair.
How dare you judge him for marrying his 13-year-old
It was
cousin?
historically accepted at the time.
I don't care.
I
I judge thee.
I could say that without condoning it.
I judge.
One man, Thomas Groom, described walking through a churchyard with his hands in his pockets and a jacket under his arm, when from behind a tombstone, someone grabbed him by the neck with 2 hands. The hands spun Groom around, but there was no one to be seen. When he pushed out with his fist, it felt as though he were punching a large coat, but he didn't contact anything solid.
And I'll just go for a stroll through the...
You know he's not telling it that way, though. This is like a war story. Like, so there I was, walking through the cemetery, and then all of a sudden I got these 2 hands on my neck, and I turn around and I knock him out. I fucking killed a ghost, mate. I fucking killed a ghost.
How do you grab someone and then turn? Because that's not easy. Can you imagine doing
Well,
that?
I mean, like, if it's a ghost, we're talking about the laws of physics being broken.
Yeah, I guess so.
What do you think about him punching and not feeling anything solid, but feeling like a coat?
Boy, I'd give $1 million to watch this guy do that.
To
if
watch-
you were just like eating an apple by a tree and you saw this guy walking around, just look like a horse's ass. I'd be like, you all right?
What is this person accomplishing by doing this?
Raising hell, you know? Getting people talking about it.
Creating hysteria?
Yeah. Also probably putting pressure on the investigation.
Do you think this is someone trying to pressure the investigation to get closed, or you think this is a killer mocking the police? Which one do you lean towards?
I lean toward the former. I feel like someone is just
Oh, interesting.
stirring the pot.
I actually think it's someone mocking the police, like a Zodiac of sorts.
Then why wouldn't you just I put Bella in the witch elm?
Because who put Bella in the witch elm is...
Me.
No, I'm saying that's like
Oh.
more provocative.
I feel like more provocative is I put Bella in the witch
Can you imagine
elm.
that's how they solved the case? They're at a town hall meeting and they're like, who put Bella in the witch elm? And someone goes, me! It was me!
This time, Allan was actually angry at the young student for gambling, while Poe was likewise upset at his godfather for refusing to contribute more to his education. With no other options, Poe was forced to drop out of school. Thus began a tumultuous time in Poe's life. Upon returning to Richmond, Poe discovered his fiancée, Elmira Shelton, had become engaged to another man. Despairing, Poe moved to Boston and enlisted in the U.S. Army to support himself so he could write. His godfather, however, then bought Poe's way out of the military, which was apparently something you could do. Poe then enrolled in West Point, only to be expelled 8 months later after making himself absent from all drills and classes for a week. With nowhere to go, Poe attempted to seek out his father's relatives in Baltimore, where he was promptly robbed by one of his cousins.
Bad cousin. That's rough.
This guy is being followed by a dark cloud.
Yeah.
It just seems like.
What do you do when life throws curveballs at you?
I don't know. have a nice cry.
You film a gaunt season of BuzzFeed Unsolved
Yeah, I have a
Supernatural
nice
is what
cry.
I regard.
Yeah. I make BuzzFeed Unsolved. That's what I do.
One of the boys split off to look in the stump of an old wych elm tree. When he peered through the tangled branches, a round, white object caught his eye. The young man had not discovered an egg, however, but a human skull. One of the boys used a stick to remove the skull from the tree. Before leaving the scene, the skull was replaced, and it said the boys vowed never to speak of it again. By the next day, one of the boys squealed to his father, who in turn alerted police.
Do you think...
How would you react, actually? I'm curious.
I was actually going to say, here's how I would react. Oh, dude! Like that.
To a human skull.
Probably.
You wouldn't go, zoinks, let's get home.
Because
Or
that's better? Zoinks?
I would drop it, I'd scream, and I'd run straight to my mother. It doesn't shock me, actually, now. I don't know why I was shocked by you not being alarmed by a human skull.
It's different, though, when it's a skull, because it's like, well, it's just a funny skeleton. It's a funny bone man.
It was a human's head.
It was.
Now imagine a skeleton with hair coming out of it, how scary that is. You ever think about that? Does hair go through the skull, or does it come from the top?
Absolutely not.
How does it start?
Do you understand anything about science?
I don't.
Or,
How does,
oh my-
where does hair start?
Do you think it starts in the brain, Ryan?
Yeah, it starts in the
it
brain.
goes
It
through the
goes
skull.
through the brain. No, but what part of the epidermal layer is it on? Like, is it just like...
I don't know, but it's above the bone.
Then why is it sometimes on the skull?
What are you talking? Because it's connected to the skin that is connected to the
No,
skull.
but the skin is gone, is what I'm saying. And I've heard that sometimes the hair is stuck into the skull.
That's not true. Does hair grow through the skull? I know it worked out in the long run, but if I'm Herman,
Yeah,
you know, toiling to provide for my wife, Cecilia, is that her name?
yeah.
Your boy comes to you and says, I'm gonna step up, help out the family, I'm gonna pitch in, I'm gonna get a job. I'd be like, you're the best son. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna be a trapeze artist. I'd be like, get out of my house.
The men could have literally been blown from the island. The nearby Butt of Lewis had been at one point considered by Guinness to be the windiest place in the UK.
What's funny about that is the Butt of Shane is the windiest place in the US.
Do you have that one locked and loaded?
Oh yeah, I did, baby.
On April 18th, 1943, 4 teenage boys from Birmingham, England were marching through Hagley Wood searching for food. World War II was raging across Europe, and due to rationing, Bob Farmer, Robert Hart, Fred Payne, and Thomas Willits were on the lookout for bird nests that might have some free eggs.
Fun to hunt for eggs with your boys.
Because they were starving, though.
Yes, but that's what they were doing. I'm
But
not
you
making a joke
You
about
started
it.
the sentence with fun to hunt with eggs with your boys.
It sounds like a fun thing to do.
Not when you're starving, though.
Let's say you're not starving. Still
I-
fun to go out in the woods and hunt for things with your boys.
I suppose, yeah.
In one incident, the driver of an 8-horse wagon carrying 16 passengers became so frightened by the ghost that he fled on foot, abandoning his passengers and horses.
It's a big-ass wagon for you to leave behind and be like, see you later. Just taking off.
Oh, that's true. You don't want to leave that wagon.
I guess not. The horses were probably confused.
Imagine the trim on that baby. Probably mahogany.
Maybe.
Damn, dude.
Just sanded to perfection.
Sanded to
Just like
perfection.
slides
Probably
off
some
the skin.
gold leaf.
Maybe. Just slides off the skin like butter.
Smoking, man.
Anyways, don't leave your wagon full of passengers behind. The horses are probably scared too.
Oh, 8 horses whinnying at the same time? That's deafening.
Watching your master run off while there's like some boo ghost going, woo.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still don't think it's a dude in a sheet. I think it's like a white mist around this thing. People describe ghosts as having like a white
It's like an
aura.
ethereal, okay, I see.
Yeah, like a
yes.
glow.
Wisps.
I haven't seen that. So
No, you certainly haven't.
in a ghost, the ghost I saw looked like a person.
Why don't you continue the story? Yeah, like how thorough could they be back then, honestly? They're probably like, you promise? Yeah, we didn't do anything. All right, well, we're gonna pay you money then.
But not the full thing.
That'd be crazy if you were like, let's kill these people, take their ship, and get paid money for it. And then for hundreds of years, people are like, what happened?
Yeah, I know, when it was just simple as like, nice ship. I like it. It's mine now.
It's embarrassing to murder with your brother.
E-
Can you imagine?
What?
To murder with your brother?
That's what you took from that?
That's embarrassing.
How is that? I mean, it's embarrassing to murder, yeah.
If I went to my brother and said, ooh, I'm fired up, I'm gonna murder Ryan Bergara.
Okay.
Can you help me? I hope that he would say, maybe sleep on it.
This is being taped, right? I
Yeah.
feel like this is like a recounted conversation.
Our fourth and final theory is that the crew of the Mary Celeste was abducted by aliens or attacked by a giant sea monster, perhaps an octopus with giant limbs.
Wait, are you actually gonna do this? What are you doing?
I'm citing the theory.
The floor is yours.
That was the end of the theory. But I mean, like, wouldn't it be crazy if they got abducted by aliens or like a sea monster? Like a big octopus took its, like, grabbed them off? You know? Look, I've looked at a lot of boards and a lot of people think that since you crossed off all the logical boxes, aliens is the only thing that makes sense. They got in the lifeboat to try and paddle away, but they just couldn't paddle fast enough. You know?
Yeah, them getting in the lifeboat negates the aliens thing entirely.
Does it?
Yeah.
Well, then what happened to them?
Monkey.
It's those damn sea monkeys.
Maybe they had a monkey on board.
What if they got eaten by crabs?
That'd kick ass. I mean, not for them.
No. Yeah, I mean,
Imagine if the crabs ate them and then were just taking on the roles. Like one crab is captain, another crab is captain's wife, a little baby crab.
Jesus Christ.
But they're surrounded by half-eaten bodies.
What are you? Hey, man, calm down.
You piece of shit, Shane.
My mic went out, and then I was looking for you.